Well, I would say, first of all, I would say this age of uncertainty, and we've never had it so bad, I think that's overdone. I was around long enough to work in the days of the 3-day week over here, when the miners were bashing the police, etc. And the we've gone through 4 recessions, I suppose, in my working career, and each one has been tougher than the last, so they say. I think you've got to do what you do and do it well. Get the right values, the right team, the right strategy, and keep on going. And if don't take too many risks. I think the risks some of the people in my industry took about leveraging their balance sheets when the times were very good 4 or 5 years ago. I think those few of those companies are left these days, and if they are, they're very much smaller than they used to be. So I don't believe it's as bad as it's ever going to be. If you're the right organisation with the right leadership, this is a good time. This is a good time of opportunity.
I think the uncertainty is the new normality. I think you've just got to live with it. This is it. I quite often see people say, when will we go back to where we were? Forget it. We will never go back to it. This is the new sort of conditions. And then you've got to just create as much agility in the organisation as you possibly can, so you can, make the decisions at the right time. But to do that, for me, you need the dashboard, or you need a balanced scorecard, you need the data points to be able to create that.
I agree. I think these are the good old days, So, we're going forward. We're not going back, and that's what I tell people. But your question was, how do you get the organization to move more quickly, to take decisions faster, et cetera? What's the CEO do? It's a very good question, and I think, so one thing the organization looks for is some kind of modeling, like what's it like at that level to get decisions made? Is it bureaucratic? Is it PowerPoint-itis? Is it, what does it take to get those guys to decide something? And so you've got to have in place a way of operating that's transparent enough that people understand how the executive team operates, and they say, well, why are we so bureaucratic when those guys don't want slides? They want 3-page papers. They don't, they want to have 5 slides in an hour of discussion, not 50 slides in 5 minutes of discussion. And you begin to model that for the organization to say, this is what I mean by how I want to operate our business and be more agile. And the other thing I do is I always ask people to identify bureaucracy in the company. Tell me, how do we get rid of bureaucracy? Tell me what's bureaucratic. Like, what is it, And then they tell me something. I say, I hear you. We'll look into that. Or, well, if you think that's bureaucracy, tough, because we're going to keep doing that. So, and I think it's important that you weigh in on stuff that people see differently and say, this is how I see it. We have a portfolio review board. I think the product teams think it's bureaucratic. It's the only place where I put the portfolio together. So, with all due apologies, you're all coming and you're making those presentations. I don't know what else to tell you, right? So, because there's, I don't have a better way. So I think, but modeling it, being transparent, and asking people to just say, here's some stuff that's not working right, and you can rip some stuff out. I just brought in a whole new management team in R&D. They are ripping the place apart. Stuff is there because it's been there forever, and, these guys are like, what do we do this for? I said, I don't know. So, fresh eyes help.
A couple of additional points from me. I think agility is also about making decisions at the right time and in the right place. And so if I put it in an IBM context, if everything had to go to Armonk, we'd be still talking about 2007. We'd be getting ready for the recession, not talking about how we work out of it. So it's about the right place. But the second thing is, and one of the things that IBM has done, it hasn't got one management system. And if you think about managing a 200-person operation in Bulgaria versus managing an 80,000 operation in India versus running a historic operation out of North America, those things are different. And so IBM has introduced different management systems at the market-facing units to allow it to run. The brick units are run in a different way with different sorts of metrics, different sorts of performance measures than the mature markets of the UK and in the US. So I think it's not only the delegation and getting things in the right place, but it's also about making the management system fit the market that you're in, not trying to impose something from another market that doesn't actually work.